Third time's the charm! What, you thought we weren't going to do this?
I don't know, man. 3 commentaries on one game is quite plus, wouldn't you say?
Plus Ultra!
To be fair, the Plus Encore Mode is significantly remixed in several aspects. Also, the menu's changed, and that's totally worth a whole other playthrough.
Yeah.
I won't lie, I really like Encore Mode. In fact, I like it so much that I slightly resent IGN's 7.0 score.
We'll get to that, but since we do have... This is our third playthrough of effectively the same game, we brought someone to help us out. Yay.
Yes, hello, it is me, Skylar. I finally made it to the big time, and I've left behind those FTCR scrubs. How's it going, everybody?
Yes, the big time.
I'm sorry.
I'm using very big finger quotes with that.
The S and BSC stands for scrubs.
And classic Sonic has left behind those resistance scrubs.
Okay, so
this in a way, Sonic Mania Adventures is not canon to anything. Then, right? Because this mode picks up immediately where Force is left.
Well, it'd be weird if it was canon, because that would mean Metal Sonic is a fucking Jedi.
I like to take a Dragon Ball approach and just consider everything its own separate canon. So Mania Adventures is its own thing, and this is its own other thing.
Oh, so you're saying Broly's going to show up in Mania Adventures
yes,
too?
Yes, basically.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Whoa, guys, where have you been the last 20 years?
They finally left that bar. Or maybe they were abducted directly from the bar stools.
I get that reference.
I found you, faker!
They even remembered to make the sprites look alike. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually used Sonic's sprite as a basis for Mighty's again, just to make sure that kept the same idea.
So how does this Encore Mode work? Because I haven't played it.
It's basically Sonic the Hedgehog Curse of the Moon.
Yeah, you have no lives, but you get more characters. So dying means you lose that character and you have to get them back. You only game over once you've lost all your characters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which means if you are unlucky enough to die in Angel Island Act 1 before freeing Mighty and Ray, you get a game over immediately, as I found out when I was screwing around.
You also are effectively always playing as Sonic and Tails mode, but can switch between the two at any given time.
Yeah.
I also want to say that they slightly expanded on Angel Island Zone compared to Vanilla Mania, and it pisses me off because there are a couple of things I do out of instinct for playing Sonic for so long, but they're not there. Can I get a raise of hands?
You mean once you latch on the Can
I get a raise of hands of who spin dash to the left looking for the special ring?
Yep, I did.
What about the spring underneath the first palm tree that leads to the ring and speed shoes?
Or doing the debug code on the...
Yeah.
You know what's fucking weird, though? It's a short level. It's literally just Angel Island Act 1 minus a few things from the original game. But they added a badnik, that's a water spider, sliding across the top of the water that wasn't in the original level. It only appears in the bottom of the stage, so you might even miss it while you're playing through the first time.
We're such nerds.
You guys care about Mighty and Ray, so yes, of course you're nerds.
I like Mighty and Ray.
I know, that sounds like a controversial opinion, Ted. Speaking of opinions, I heard you had some about Sonic Mania. Would you like to share them?
Yeah. I don't think Sonic Mania is the second coming of Jesus. There we go. That's how.
Well, you know what I have to say about that? That's your opinion, and you're allowed to have it.
Oh, good. You see, that's very refreshing.
I mean, you're also wrong, but you're allowed to have it.
You're Jewish, Ryan. You don't think Jesus came even the first time.
That's how good he finds Mania.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, Mighty, when in ball mode, basically ignores everything.
Mighty is
great.
OP, dude.
Mighty's not exactly OP. Alright, there's a weird... it's a bit rough to get used to Mighty and Ray. They're definitely more for slightly more advanced players. Mighty's special ability...
No. Mighty is definitely meant for beginners, I'm sorry.
No. The way his ability works is inconsistent as hell. Some hazards will bounce him off and force him out of ball form, meaning you can only take one hit before you're vulnerable again. Others, he'll just bounce off in ball form as many times as you like. And his ground pound ability is it has a very minor shockwave effect where it will damage enemies that are right next to where you land, but only right next to where you land and only on the ground. Or if you're lucky, they'll be on level with the ground and that will count, but that only happens with like the fucking fish on the bridges. So good luck with that.
Yeah, but the fact that Mighty has invulnerabilities in the first place against most spiked obstacles clearly means that this guy is meant for beginner
he makes
players.
the boss of Zone 1 a joke, but only the boss of Zone 1. And
Just one? No, he makes a lot of bosses a joke.
Maybe
Yeah,
he gives you a little bit more leeway and fucking flying battery, but there's always a chance you'll just go out of ball form and hit the spikes again anyway.
You'll see when I get to more stuff.
Yeah, dude, Mighty makes a lot of bosses a joke.
Yeah, actually, let me amend what I said earlier. Mighty and Tails is the OP team.
Why do we even need Sonic, to be honest?
But for the most part, I'm going to do my best to make this a Mighty and Ray playthrough.
Well, yeah, because
With the new characters.
Best characters, baby.
Already.
Okay, you can think that. You're entitled to that opinion, even if it is wrong.
You're right, Ted. I am.
Ray, on the other hand, is like a bizarre incursion from an alternate reality in which Super Mario World's cape power-up was actually kind of hard to use.
Okay, am I just bad at video games then? Because I could never do that, and I'm still really bad at the cape from Mario World.
What, cape
Yeah,
Mario?
Okay. What I mean is the cape from Mario World. It functions basically the same way, except it's faster and the obstacles are more condensed and weirder. So it's hard to get going with him. But when you can get a lot of height and distance. Look, see right there.
Yeah, I just skipped that entire thing.
Ray is frickin' amazing if you take the time to learn how to use him.
Yeah, Ray is going to be the ultimate speedrun character.
Yeah.
I was to say, the major difference between Ray and Cape Mario is Ray's flight is way more momentum-based. Because you can basically do the same things as Cape Mario. Like, you hold forward and you do a dive bomb similar to Cape Mario, but you gain a lot of speed doing that. And the moment you hold left, you catch a lot of air as well. And yeah, I can clearly see Ray being used for speed.
It's almost like the hang glider from Sonic 2, but good.
Well, I mean, that the hang glider from Sonic 2 Game Gear is in this game now.
That's true.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Oh my god.
You want to know? You want to know, like, my favorite thing about Ray, though? Super Ray is just Ray.
I know.
Well, Super Mighty is just
He
Mighty.
barely
He's already
glows.
yellow, yeah.
I really wish we'll see them later, but I really do wish they gave them like greatly different color palettes.
Well, it's supposed to be.
something special with them.
It's supposed to be their inverted colors because Super Shadow is like white and white, which is inverted black, and Sonic
what's
is
the inverse of yellow?
blue.
Puke green.
No, it's
okay?
blue because because the inverse of blue is yellow, which is why Super Sonic is yellow.
I
So
think we're operating off two different primary color setups.
If you go into MS Paint and then take an image of Sonic and press invert colors, Sonic is yellow.
I'm pretty sure Sonic's invert. No. I'm sure Sonic's inverse is Super Saiyan.
Well, I'm sorry, but like the image of Scourge the Flying Squirrel just amuses the fuck out of me.
But yeah, we'll get to the super forms later because I do get all the emeralds into this run. Huzzah!
I didn't even realize there were emeralds until Flying Battery Zone.
Yeah, that's something that'll throw a lot of players for a loop if they don't go in expecting it. All of the special rings that you expect to find are replaced by power-ups, and there are new special rings in other places.
Yeah, I actually had to look for them, which is they're a lot harder to find in Encore mode. The Encore mode is very much the hard mode of the game, I feel.
In terms of finding everything, sure, because not much has changed level design-wise, and boss fights are entirely
except for
changed.
one.
Yeah, except for one.
Well, technically the last one's been changed a little bit, but...
Well, even then, the Metal Sonic fight, that's not even part of Encore mode. I think that was just updated.
Yeah, that was just updated entirely, but yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily supposed to be, I would say, a hard mode, more like a replay value mode. Like, the game is essentially the same, with a new gimmick to make playing through it interesting.
Yeah, it's not meant to be an entirely new game, cough, IGN, cough.
The special stage.
All right, come on. Can I just say something real quick? First off, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna defend that review. They clearly state at the beginning of that review that they're reviewing the DLC. People tend to ignore that part of the review when they're shit talking it. That's all.
And they did.
Yeah, but why are you bothered? Why are you trying to review effectively $5 DLC for 2 extra characters and a slight palette swap?
Because that's what they're giving you. You can't review... People reviewed the Octo expansion from Splatoon on its own merits, then people should be able to
Well, they couldn't
review
They
this.
couldn't not review it, but, like, they probably didn't care as much as we do.
Yeah, because,
So, you know,
fun fact,
I'm
not
not
everybody
gonna-
knows who the hell Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel is.
Here's the thing, Ted. There's a difference between reviewing a $5 character pack effectively and a $20 story mode edition.
Well, no, my gripe with them isn't even just that they give them that score. It's like they didn't thoroughly review it. They didn't look at the updates to the game as a whole. They just looked at Encore Mode. they barely talked about say, hey, they added those transitions everyone was whining about not being there the first time around. That's pretty cool, you know?
Also, it's $5. What are you expecting? I just think their expectations were way too high for something that was effective. That was basically the same level of difference as a costume and character pack for Street Fighter.
Yeah, but we wouldn't do a third playthrough if it was a Street Fighter costume pack, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, my beef is just I think that a professional review should be able to point out more of the differences than I was able to find when playing through half the game as Mighty the Armadillo. So...
Yeah, no, but it's just like people are so quick to point out that it's like, oh, they reviewed Sonic Mania as a whole as 7 out. I was like, oh, for God's sakes, people, you're acting like fucking children.
You know, it's funny you say that because I didn't even know that other people were griping about this particular review until you mentioned it just now. Because I've been at work for too long, I don't know what the internet controversies have been like over the last 2 days.
And people act like a 7 is a bad, though, is also the thing. 7, it
is on the 3-point scale now. That we have now.
That's how professional reviewers work.
No,
man.
he
7
said,
is the
okay,
score they
he
give
thought
to
it was
games.
fine. That's what that means. 7 means fine, even on the 3-point scale.
Have you watched the critic? Have you watched the critic? What if I didn't like it? That's why you give it a good.
Yeah.
Okay, look. The 3-point scale exists because professional reviewers like IGN don't want to give products bad scores so that the publishers don't, cut them
keep
out
showing
of future
them,
review
yeah.
copies. So they give them a air quotes good score, and that's basically their stand-in for a bad score.
Or an average score.
Everyone knows this, so I don't know why we haven't graduated to the 2-point scale yet. But
is it good or bad? just level with me.
The thing is, the reason that exists is more because you get your casual media browsers who just glance at the review numbers, see a 7, say it's good, and they're not necessarily as into gaming media as we are, so that still sells a copy. And that's the compromise between gaming review outlets and the publishers.
I just want to point out,
It's
I
irritating.
appreciate how you were ducking in sync to the music there.
Yep.
A video game commentary, you say?
That's also why video game reviewers on YouTube and stuff tend to not do numbered scores, because if they rate it below a 7, everyone who knows what review numbers are like assumes that means it's bad when they really just...
Honestly, they do it just so that people will actually watch the video instead of skipping to the end to see what the score is.
Well, that too.
That's why I did it.
That was more of a thing that they realized after the fact. Tracing the trend and how it arose. You didn't even check to see if the other ring was there. Wow.
Well, I figured out early on, based on Green Hill Zone, that no, they're different. So I have to take different paths than I'm used to now. For at least
I haven't played Encore Mode yet, so
I find a good 10 of them actually, because the last Chaos Emerald takes me a few tries. But the first 6 I do on my first try. The 7th one took me 3 tries.
The
The
seventh
special
one took me
stage is
like
still
30.
awful.
Well, I mean,
The special stages are still great. Yeah.
No, I hate
so
the way
gross.
they control. I can't be the only one who thinks
Well,
that.
then you're gonna love the ones. You're gonna love the ones in Encore Mode because they're the only thing that is a straight-up hard mode. And this is a good design decision as far as Sonic the Hedgehog replay value goes, because one of the things that I mentioned actually in my run of the game, well, last time we did this game, or well, 2 times ago that we did this game,
my God.
is that the special stages.
Or encore.
The special stages, once you get used to them, tend to be really easy to complete. So having a second set of harder special stages, basically a full set of 14, gives you something new to experience on the special stage front during replays. So you have your nice, comfortable run through the game, but you also have a challenge that is something akin to what you first experienced while getting the Chaos Emeralds.
There's a special ring there, but I can't get it.
Isn't that the worst feeling? I had that experience in Mirage
Yes.
Saloon. I think you'll know the ring I'm talking
Also,
about.
someone get Donnie.
Okay, this is great. It's a combination of the Sonic Spinball bonus stage and the Combi Machine from Chaotix.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can get additional characters if you're missing some from here, but it also allows you to get shields, and the best part about this bonus stage is that if you have all the medallions, it replaces the blue spheres in the main campaign as well.
Yes.
Oh, did not know that.
Yeah, so you can actually get shields and stuff at times when the level design doesn't dictate that you get this specific shield. At one point I got a lightning shield from a bonus stage right below a magnetized ceiling that led me to a special ring which got me a Chaos Emerald, and it was like the luckiest fucking thing ever, and that's when I fell in love with these bonus stages. Because that shit never would have happened in the original version of this game.
And Eggman's pose and the soundtrack itself is a callback to Sega Sonic,
Yeah.
the arcade game. I think it's called Trap Tower. Because I never played that game. Well,
Nobody
once it
did.
was Trap Ball.
That was an arcade exclusive game that I believe was Japan only. It might have.
No, there were here.
released
Okay,
in
so
very
six
limited
six
quantities in
arcade
America.
cabinets in the entire United States. Are
My grandparents were clear to Vegas, and there was one in the arcade near them. So
yeah, the only one in the entire Midwest.
If you emulate
Nevada isn't the Midwest.
If you emulate it, do you need to use a trackball?
No, you can use the controller.
Wait, why was Knuckles pushing nothing?
Ooh. It's a Sonic 1 callback.
New special stages.
Yeah, I was taken by surprise of how difficult these were because I live streamed this game day one when the Plus DLC came out, and
Yeah.
the first one took me I think 4 tries. just to get.
Yeah, around there.
Oh, Jesus. Ryan gets this one on his first try. Jesus.
Yeah, this first one took me
No,
3
'cause
tries, I think. Some of them I was able to get in one go,
Yeah.
but a couple of them, especially 7, were a lot harder than I
The
was
7 took me
expecting.
3 tries, but the rest I got on my first
Well,
try.
it's going to depend on how well you were able to play the original special stages, because this one picks up pretty much exactly
Also,
where the curve left off.
there was a debug thing left in here.
What?
Yes,
Yeah.
there was.
I-
You want to explain it, Ryan? Or
I obviously don't do it because I didn't know about it when I played this.
yeah.
But if you just mash X on the Switch controller, like triangle for PlayStation, etc., you just mock up.
Yeah.
Huh.
You gain an instant level on your mock.
Oh.
So you can just go to Mach 3 instantly.
And I don't think it has been patched out yet. so
At the time of this
yeah,
recording,
I did
anyway.
not know
yeah,
that.
at the time of this recording, you can
So
still
you
do
could
it.
basically
Okay, that's
just grab
embarrassing.
the Chaos Emerald immediately, then, pretty much.
Not immediately, but you
No,
can get to
here's-
top speed
Yeah,
really
because
quickly.
even then, you see, to me, what I think the biggest challenge of the new special stages is the UFO is placed so far away from the start.
Yeah, they want you to actually build things up instead of just getting to Mach 2 and then easily catching up.
Why? Okay, how
that
it
was
was?
the
It
thing
was.
about-
I could never catch that thing at Mach 2, though. I don't get how everybody
the-
else
the
can
thing
play
is
these
the,
so
uh,
easily, and I'm just bad.
The thing is, the UFO follows a strict course every time it laps. So when you cut corners, you gain distance. At Mach 2, your running speed is faster than the UFO, so if you cut corners around the laps, eventually you close distance. Mach 2 is the ideal speed to be because it's the Mach speed you get to before you start losing control. Mach 3 is where it gets slippery. You know?
Yeah.
From Gillette.
What?
I understood the reference.
I'll be here all week, folks.